All right, this is a Monday night net that's going to be coming up. This is a 2 meter single sideband net on 144.220, and this one should be, most of the participants should be horizontally polarized, like I initially set the antenna up for. So we'll see if that makes a difference compared to the net we did on Saturday night. That was, all of those people were vertically polarized and I was horizontal. Everybody on this net should all be horizontal in theory. And so let's wait to see when this starts what it sounds like, and I'll try to turn the volume up if you're not able to hear it on the video. Okay, here's a sideband beacon coming from, should be that same area. Put the radio, it's on upper sideband, and when I went to their frequency for the beacon, 144.282, didn't hear anything. And had to actually, somebody suggested switch over to CW mode on the radio, and then I was able to hear it. If I go back up to 282, this is what it sounds like. So it just disappears when I actually go to the frequency they're talking about. But if I switch my radio to CW mode and then go to 282, then it's going to come in fairly clear as a bell. So there it is for their beacon. But again, when I go to upper sideband, I have to tune down about 0.6, so that might be known to most people, but I didn't know that. So now let me get back down to 220. Couldn't hear anything on the net yet. They're very far away, but apparently every 15 minutes they'll go north, east, south, west with their antenna, and so that might be what we have to wait for. Get them to point more to where I'm aiming at Pike's Peak and bouncing off to see if I can hear them. But right now I can't hear anything.
Roger, K0FYR. Good evening from WE7L. I'm in Elizabeth, Colorado. Where are you located? Over.
WE7LK0FYR. I am in Divide, Colorado, about 25 miles west of Colorado Springs, up on top of the Front Range.
QSL, okay. Been there once. Very good. Yeah, you got a great signal into Elizabeth. The other station, I guess, was KE0CO. Is he nearby you? Over.
Yeah, he's roughly about 10 more miles west of me, near the town of Florissant. He's off of Teller 1 in Teller County.
QSL, okay. Yeah, great to meet you guys. Don't hear too many CW stations on 2 meters here, so had to jump in. Yeah, the net's going on. They're in the background, still running quite low power here. Very low power. It might be running 3 watts at the time.
Yeah, copy that, sir. We haven't been able to hear net control at all yet. That's what we were trying to get into, was net control or hear them. We're all trying to do this single sideband on 2 meters. And so I just recently put up a horizontal Yagi, as did KE0CO. And so we were trying to to see if we could get into the net tonight. And so far, for the first 45 minutes, we hadn't heard anything. And so he was doing CW just to check his signal coming in and out of his station, and that's probably where you picked him up. But yeah, we were waiting on the net. K0FYR.
QSL, okay. Yeah, I'll let them know that you're trying to get in there and your direction. So, okay, stand by.
Straight line distance is 40 miles from me to Elizabeth, and that's northeast of me, just south of Denver near Castle Rock. And the beacon I heard was in Como, which is 40 miles in the opposite direction. And so, just now starting to hear people talking. But I think he's now should be pointing west from Denver. And so, real light, but just starting to pick it up.
Okay, let me see if I can get you guys, relay you in to net control, KE0CO, Whiskey Echo 7 Lima, Elizabeth, Colorado.
Yeah, WE7L, KE0CO, good copy. You were solid on CW, and when you went to voice, I didn't hear you very well. I could tell you were in there, but I'm glad you picked up Mike. He was wanting to try that new Yagi out, and he's got a good shot at Pikes Peak. I'm down in a hole here, south of the Florida fossil bed. But anyway, good to meet you there. WE7L, name here is Brian with an I. This is KE0CO.
KE0CO, good to meet you, Brian. Name here is Duncan. Duncan like a donut. And anyway, I'm net control on alternate days for the beam spinners. Hope you guys can make it 8 a.m. 144.200. But anyway, hopefully you heard that already from when I was talking with Mike there. But I was on about 3 watts. Now let's see, what am I at now? About 300 watts. So, anyway, net control tonight is Dave, W0EDW. He didn't think he could make it down there from his home QTH. He normally runs a club station up there in Eden, Colorado for the net. He's got a huge signal then. And anyway, just wanted to check you guys in. Relay style to W0EDW. So K0FYR, how copy now, WE7L?
WE7L K0FYR, you are a solid S9. S9, completely legible, no static or anything on your signal.
QSL, you're also S9 here. Yeah, great signals from you guys down there. Both of you are doing really well. With, I understand you both put up horizontal Yagis, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was trying one out for MFJ. Rich over at MFJ sent me one. I usually do YouTube videos on that kind of stuff, and so I got this set up. It's about 8 feet off the ground, pointed at the dead center of Pikes Peak, which is about 11 miles from my QTH. I'm pointing kind of southeast at the center of Pikes Peak and getting reflection back to you there in Elizabeth.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's working. We might even make it direct.
He's 40 miles away. He said that he's doing 300 watts now, and he's S9. He said I'm S9 to him. And again, I'm pointed south to Pikes Peak, a little southeast, and he is complete opposite direction in Elizabeth,
Roger.
40 miles straight line.
W0E.
All right, so obviously when they are horizontally polarized, it's really good communication. And so again, he's 40 miles away. northwest of me. I'm pointing southeast. I'm sorry, he's northeast of me. I'm pointing southeast. And wow, maxing out the scale S9 and like completely clear audio. And so it's gonna be hard pressed. I mean, do I really want to put it vertical if I'm getting this horizontal station so well? We'll wait and see tomorrow. I'll be on the try to get on the beam spinners net at 8 a.m. and see how it goes from there. And then you know, if I do flip this vertical and able to get a little bit better into the springs for the next Saturday night net, maybe the solution will be put it at a slant. I can get both. All right, so it's the next morning. This is the morning that the cargo ship has run into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore in the Outer Harbor. Beam spinners net just starting up, horizontally polarized, and I'm hearing WE7L, who is the one that we got last night from Elizabeth, about 40 miles direct east of Denver. Yeah, KE00.
FYR.
Oh.
K0FYR, W60AL, in Parker Island, just east of Parker. Nice signal about net 5 here this morning. Thanks for joining us, over.
Wow, that's really impressive with this antenna. Again, this is a CushCraft 5-element 2-meter, and it was about 5-element 70 centimeter, but I broke those. But right now, horizontal is working fairly well. So, very impressive. And I think I'll stop the video here with a follow-up to come when I try the vertical polarization. I'm already not looking forward to it, and so this seems to be working just great, except for that one net on Saturday, and even then I was still S3 to him. So, but you know, in the trying it out, that was the intent, is to do it in the different positions, see which one was best. So, all right, it is the following Saturday, and I have turned the Yagi antenna, the 2-meter vertical, and let's see what happens on that net tonight, now that it's vertical like all the rest of the people on that net. So this is the 2-meter single sideband net on Saturday night, the second Saturday that I've done this. So I was horizontal the first one, now I'm vertical.
KL7YY and KG5N already checked into tonight's net. Any other stations that I have not acknowledged that would like to check in, please give me a call now.
Kilo 0 Foxtrot Yankee Romeo.
KB0KQI. Alright, I will acknowledge K0FYR. I want to make sure I got that right. Kilo 0 Foxtrot Yankee Romeo and KB0KQI in there. Fox Yankee Romeo, could you confirm that I got your call right and your name, please?
Yes, sir, that is correct. Kilo 0 Foxtrot Yankee Romeo. This is Mike up in Divide. K0FYR.
Alrighty, Mike. Yeah, S3 down into Whitefield. Sounding good. Sounding really good. Oh, hey, Mike, you're back. Oh, that's right. You were in last week. Sorry, I don't know, it didn't click for some reason. S3 tonight, well above the noise floor. I'm on a different antenna than I was last week. But yeah, got you in there at number 11. And then KD0, KQI, and
so I'm getting an S3.
Check-ins for the V7 2-meter sideband net. Call now.
Like I did last week, he said S3. but I was at the noise floor, and now I'm S3 above the noise floor. So we'll have to come back
okay, we've got Steve
and see
that he needed to get in and get out.
when
so
he
see what,
when he talks.
CI's got before I get yakking. K0CI 80.
Well, anyway, so Net Control has changed his antenna as well as I moved mine from a horizontal to a vertical polarization.
Wednesday night, if not before.
Let's see if we can talk about that here when it's my turn. Yes, sir. Good evening, and good evening to the net. Yeah, this is K0FYR up in Divide. I have turned my antenna from being horizontal to vertical polarization as part of my test to see which one would be better. I had a real good time with horizontal last week. I know that I was still only an S3 to you guys, and some of you couldn't hear me, but all of the other two nets that run mostly horizontal heard me fairly well. I was getting all the way up even into Elizabeth near Denver. But right now I'm vertical, and it seems to not be getting out as well, and I'm not hearing as well either as I was when I was horizontal. And so it's still something to play around with, and just wondering. I didn't really hear Myron that well, even though he booms in when I'm on horizontal. So it's just something, a learning experience, trying to find out which one's the best. K0FYR.
Oh, fine business, Mike. Well, I can tell you that, and remember, I've changed my antenna since last week, so not sure how much of this is comparable, but I have a much easier time copying you this week than I did last week, although I did get a pretty good copy on you last week. My noise is also a little bit better tonight than it was last week, so it's doing just fine to me. S3 for whatever that's worth. The 991 that's where it's putting the little bar meter S meter, and the audio is nice. It's stronger now, and I'm able to actually hear it, and it's there's a nice brightness to your audio, which I think helps in the weak signal there. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Mike, including signal reports?
RSI?
KE0 RSI, go ahead.
Yeah, Doug, I've blown everybody's ears out. I've changed back to the vertical, the X50, and I'm hearing Mike at an S8 out here in Ellicott, so yeah, he's kind of rolling off the mountain, doing a smooth transition all the way out here to the prairie. So anyways, that's my comment. Back to you, KE0 RSI.
Okay, I will relay just in case Mike didn't catch that. Mike, KE0 RSI reports that you are S8 out in Ellicott to his station after he switched back to his usual antenna, which is an X50 or an X510. It's a fiberglass vertical job that he's got. Okay, and then Mike, real quick, you said that KE0CO was trying to get in from between Lake George and Florissant, is that right?
Yeah, he's actually located south of Florissant, past the fossil beds, on Teller 1 on the way to Cripple Creek. And so he is on Teller 1, south of the fluorescent fossil beds, on the way to Cripple Creek. He couldn't hear anybody today, and so what he tried to do was also go vertical, but he doesn't really have a clear as well a view as I have to Pikes Peak, and so he was fighting it, and he wasn't able to hear anybody, just voices, but couldn't discern any of the communication. And I heard RSI the same. He's almost an S8 up here. K0FYR.
Okay, hey, that's interesting. With him being further out in the plains, it must the terrain must not matter quite as much. All right, and hey, Nick, I'll relay just in case you didn't get a good copy on that.
K0CO is located south of Florissant, headed towards Cripple Creek on Teller Highway 1. So he's kind of tucked back in there and doesn't have a real good shot into town, which is probably why we didn't hear him too much. And that little bit of CW that came through probably was definitely knife edging off something.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I heard that from Mike. Yeah, very interesting. I think the difference between me hearing Mike tonight versus last week was just going to the vertical, like you were saying. So, yeah, very interesting the way this propagation is, especially when you start working with weak signals. So, yeah, I don't know if he's hearing me. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I think it's a little rough for me. Receiving me, but that's interesting. I've been really doing with him tonight. So, that's you, Sergeant.
Alrighty, and we'll go ahead and clear with K0FYR as well. And Mike, just in case, since you haven't been around but for a couple of nets, you might have not heard kind of the backstory behind this gathering on Saturday evenings. We started this 5 years ago with the idea of, hey, everybody's got these all-band, all-mode shack-in-the-box rigs. Let's just see if we can get folks to just hit the mode button and use whatever vertical they had going, and we can just have a rag chew on sideband in an open hole in the calendar. Saturday nights were pretty open as far as 2-meter sideband nets, so that's why there's a lot more vertical polarization on this group. Is we were just trying to encourage folks to hit the mode button and do some sideband. I do think there is benefit to running horizontal antennas for weak signal work, but that's not anything we're wrapped up with in this gathering. So your observations that the antenna seemed overall to do better horizontal doesn't surprise me. I think that there's going to be something valid behind those. We're just rebels without a cause on this group here.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the chance to get in here and try out some of this stuff with my antennas. I'm going to be leaving town tomorrow, and I'll be in Texas for the eclipse. But when I come back, what I'm going to try to do is take my antenna and put it at a 45-degree slant and see if that improves both sides. Whether I can hear the horizontal as well as I did before and have the vertical also as well as I'm doing at least tonight. And so I'll try that again, but it won't be until probably the better part of 12 or more days from now when I get back from Texas. K0FYR.
Okay, that's going to be real interesting. I'm curious to see what comes from that. I'm very curious because I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. All right, we'll clear with K0FYR, and I'm going to relay to the group what Mike was saying. For those of you that may not have a good copy on him, you may remember from last week, he's got a Yagi, 2-meter Yagi antenna from MFJ that he's doing some testing with. And last week he ran it horizontal, not just our net, but he was testing it on a bunch of other 2-meter activities. Tonight he's vertically polarized with that Yagi and doing more experiments with it. And then when he returns from some eclipse watching in a couple of weeks, he's going to take that Yagi and put it on a 45-degree slant, halfway between horizontal and vertically polarized, and just see what happens, see what it's like, which I think is really interesting. So stay tuned for more of that from K0FYR.
All right, so that's kind of the end of that portion of the video. My intent was to show the last part of the horizontal orientation, and then switching it to the vertical orientation. And so got both of those here recorded, and now I'm headed off to Texas for the eclipse totality, and I'm going to be doing some radio propagation studies there. That'll be a separate video. But once I come back, I'll probably have the third installment of this, and that's going to be when I turn the antenna to a slant orientation, and then how does it sound for the people horizontal, how does it sound for the people vertical, and that'll be a follow-up video. So until next time, this is Ham Solo K0FYR 73.